This is a little edit after I have already made this video. It's come to my attention that Dream's been doxxed or something like that. I don't know if he's actually been doxxed, but I just really want to go through and say I do not support the doxing of any persons, of anybody. Even if you don't like that person, you should not fucking dox anybody. Doxing is wrong. It always will be wrong. And doxing's fucking illegal. Why would you dox somebody that you don't like? Why would you do something illegal like that? I don't support any of that shit anyway. I just wanted to tack that in the beginning before I even start this video. Peace.
All right, YouTube, we are back with another episode of the Dream Controversy Saga.
Being serious for a second, I really think it's stupid that every time I turn around, Dream is in trouble for something. I will say this, I'm not an avid hater of Dream. So, like, most of the stuff that does happen to Dream when he gets into controversy, a lot of that stuff isn't even really anything that he's done wrong. But I mean, like, this time, I still wouldn't really say that he's extremely in the wrong, but what he said on his stream
for their life and all that stuff. I'm just going to express that if you are a person on Twitter and you have 7 followers and you get doxxed on Twitter, the odds of you having something happen to you in your life are so astronomically small that it's not even worth worrying about. It's not even worth it remotely.
The way he's making other people feel, I think it's really the lack of acknowledgement of what he's actually doing is what's really making a lot of people mad. So let's start from the top. Dream has been called homophobic because of the jokes that he's made at the expense of, gay people. Those jokes that he made on Twitter, I could flash some on screen. My personal opinion, it's not something that I should be talking on because it doesn't affect me as a straight black man. But for other people, I can see how it would upset you. Like, people making jokes at your expense. I guess. Like I said, it doesn't really affect me. I don't really care. But I can see how it affects other people. So, like, and he addresses this. But he doesn't address it in a way to where people are satisfied. Because Dream doesn't necessarily have to apologize. But what he does have to do is admit that, okay, I upset some people. Maybe I'm wrong. I can accept that. I can own up to that. But he doesn't do that, which makes people mad. Me, like I said, it's not something that affects me. I don't care. Now, the biggest problem is the fact that with this recent surge of controversy with Dream still has not acknowledged the doxing of people from his fan base. Dream doesn't understand how to communicate with people. See, Dream, he is very much so allowed to address people who say bad things about him. There's nothing wrong with him doing that. But what Dream doesn't know how to fucking do is address people the right way. Dream goes directly at people instead of DMing people. If you want to be that type of creator who communicates with people and tells people how they feel, what you could do easily is just DM somebody if you really don't like what they said about you. There's nothing wrong with doing that. As long as you're respectful, tasteful. Me, I'm not a very virtuous person like that. I don't care. But like Dream, he's a big content creator. That's the reason why a lot of people hold him to such a high standard for the way he interacts with people. We don't see people like fucking Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, and PewDiePie, the likes of these titans on YouTube, going after people with 7 followers on Twitter saying, "You're a fucking loser, kid. Get a fucking life. You're a loser. You're a dweeb." No, we don't see that because these people, granted, are older than Dream and they have more time on the platform, they have had more time to mature than Dream. Even at a young age when Markiplier was on this platform, he was more mature than Dream and he took criticism much better than Dream did. You don't have to be perfect and take criticism perfectly. But what Dream doesn't do is realize the fact that, hey, maybe I don't like criticism. So maybe I shouldn't let everything everybody say get to me. Now, granted, that's not how it is for every situation, because he did say, well, sometimes I just like to fucking get on you, you little munchkins. I love you. Oh. Sure, you can troll people, but what you can't do is go directly at people who say things that aren't in your favor. because you might not want that person to receive hate, but you know by this time, you know at this point that your fan base is known to dox and harass. You have one of the worst fan bases in all of YouTube, and you still have not realized that you cannot attack every person that comes for you and let your fan base catch wind of that. That is what you still haven't realized, Dream. I'm not even mad at Dream. I don't even think he should be getting canceled or deplatformed because Dream is still young. He still needs his time to develop as a creator. Same as somebody like Speed, who was canceled recently. They're trying to get him deplatformed off of his games and his YouTube as a streamer. I don't agree with deplatforming. I'm all for allowing people to grow from their experiences. The only reason I would ever go along with deplatforming is major things. Somebody committing mass murder, mass genocide, promoting the genocide of other people, promoting the assaulting of people, people promoting violence, people promoting, harmful acts, things of that nature. People like EDP should be deplatformed because EDP wanted to meet up with kids. People like that don't deserve to have platforms. Somebody like Dream, who made some jokes that you didn't like, he's shown himself in a terrible light. He's still young and stupid. I don't think he should be deplatformed. All he really needs to do is to stop replying to people on Twitter if he can't accept the fact that his fan base won't do the things that he likes. I can show plenty of examples of people who do this better. Moist Critical, when his fan base was going after Nikocado Avocado, fat shaming him, calling him terrible things, telling him to kill himself.
Just to be clear, I know it's not a lot of you that do this. I know it's not a ton of people engaging in this. It's a very, very, very small number of people from this community that do this awful shit. But just like when it comes to Minecraft stands, where a small portion of the community does some horrible shit, I want to just get ahead of it and completely disavow it again in front of everyone and tell you that it is unacceptable to me. I don't encourage it. I don't.
Moist Critical did this way better. I can put that video on screen. And then you have somebody like Corey X Kenshin, when his fan base was going after Nikocado Avocado, telling him to kill himself, saying fatphobic things. They did that better. Granted, you can still say, well, they're older than Dream. They've had more time on the platform than Dream. That's not an excuse when those videos are still around and Dream still hasn't taken the accountability of realizing, I understand, hey, maybe my fandom isn't the best fandom. I should really correct this. No, all he does is enable the behavior. And then what he says on his stream only makes it worse. That's the problem with Dream. He's making a cycle of trying to stay relevant by not learning from mistakes that he's making, mistakes that his fan base is making, and he's just keeping the wheel going with this terrible, terrible format. All he's really doing is making people on the internet he's gonna tire people out so much to the point where when the next controversy he makes, nobody's gonna say anything, and he's not gonna be able to stay relevant this way. You can keep mongering hate as much as you want, but at the end of the day, you're going to monger so much hate to the point where people are just going to stop following you. And then there's no more hate for you to use to stir the pot. And then what? Now, there's one more thing I wanted to say in this video. He made some shitty racist edit or something like that when he was like 14, whatever. I'm black, so the edit would, affect me because it's a fucking KKK edit. I mean, who cares? You act like he said the N-word in that edit. It's just a KKK edit. Unless he publicly said, I hate black people, what am I getting mad at? I'm not a fan of all edgy jokes, but I'm a fan of edgy jokes. I'm a fan of dark humor, of things of that sort, right? It's not really a joke. It's not funny. It's just edgy white kid humor, as it would be in, fucking 2016. But I mean, who cares? He made it when he was fucking 14. He doesn't do stuff like that anymore. He's still immature like that, but I mean, he doesn't do shit like that anymore. So who cares? Now, my final verdict. What do I think? Personally, what I think that people are really, really digging too deep into this whole situation with the Dream. honestly, I understand people that want him deplatformed. If you want him deplatformed, I don't agree with you because I don't think deplatforming is for something of this magnitude because he's not promoting hate. Now, do I think that he needs to reform his platform? Absolutely, because he doesn't know how to use his fan base the right way. All he really does with his fan base is enable terrible behavior. I can put many examples of his fan base doing terrible things on screen. But all that's really going to do is put more fire to the flame for other people to say, well, this is not Dream's fault. Dream's not telling people to do this. It doesn't matter if he's not directly telling you to do it. He's not disavowing the behavior either. All he does is gaslight and say, well, I don't think my fan base is like that. I think you're totally wrong. And then his fan base goes and attacks that nigga who said something bad about him. Personally, I think this is just another attempt at Dream trying to stay relevant while he, is on his off side of uploading on YouTube. Personally, I think that people are digging way too deep into this shit. But I mean, at the end of the day, who fucking cares? Dream is just some fucking Minecraft YouTuber who just happened to get too big a head at this point. Anyways, that's all I really have to say about the situation. Let me know how you feel in the comments below. Other than that, it's been cool. I'm Squidzy, and I'm out. Peace.